Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I'm Catherine. It's December. It's the final virtual crop of the year, December 2024. And you all have voted on my community tab on which collections you would like to see me use most this month. And it's taken me a little bit extra time to get everything designed with everything else happening this time of the year. And it seemed like we had a shorter amount of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, didn't we? I'm in the United States. So, yes, it was kind of felt, I don't want to say felt completely rushed this year, but it felt a little more, I don't know. I'm still cookie baking. What can I say? So y'all can see a picture of some of my cookies on my community tab as well if you're interested. But let's go ahead and get into sketch number 1. We are going to start with, what are we starting with? Our cookie exchange collection. This is why I put it on the thing. Okay, I am ready. I've got it done. We're going to get this done today. Sketch number 1. So the reason my writing is this direction is because we are going to turn the sketch. We're also going to turn it into a 2-page sketch. So I'm going to hold this up so that way you can see the mat sizes there and all of the other I've put together for the sketch. We are turning it into a 2-pager. It just, as soon as I saw this one, I thought, okay, I know what I want to do. I'm going to pull out, you can see it already, the beveled 3-in-1 beveled tag punch. This one is currently on our sale. Buy one, get one punches, or is it buy one, get one half off, or buy one, get one? Oh my goodness, you would think I would know. It's on sale. So either you're going to get it 25% off or you're going to get it 50% off, basically, with the sale. And you can follow the link in the description box to find out, let it be a surprise. So with this punch, you can cut 3 different widths of tag, and that way you keep your little bevel part in the center. I chose to use a 2-inch width on mine, and I did do some that were shorter. I did some that were 2 3/4 and some that were 3 1/4. And I actually did cut my papers first and then punched it. So with the smaller one, the 2 3/4 one, I just kind of lined it up as best I could. I let it slide into the punch, and then I did punch it. And they are so cute. I will show you those more in a minute because they're all up here in my little embellishment tray ready to go onto the layout. But I had to show you the punch first. And here we go. Okay, do I have my border? Yes, I have my embellishment mat. I just haven't pulled it out yet. Move this to the side for right now. We are going to use our cookie page as the base for both sides. It has, I don't know, craft paper or something on the back side of it, maybe parchment paper, since it would fit with a cookie layout. We are going to start on the left side of our page, and we're going to go ahead and start placing our tags. And I want to show you, we also had in our embellishment, in our sticker pack, we have this one. It's the most delicious time of the year. And that kind of inspired a lot of my choices with this sketch. So we are going to use both of the tags that are in our embellishment pack for this layout, and then that's also why I started punching the tags as well. So getting myself set up here a little bit. I had to run a couple errands in between before I started live streaming, so just sorting myself out. And I need to see if I made a note. No, what I do have a note on is, so we are going to put a cookie on each tag. We're also going to add a ribbon to each tag. So I took our hot fudge cardstock, I cut it at 1/4 of an inch, and each one of these is 2 1/4 inches. And then I cut the ends at a little diagonal. I just wasn't in banner mode. This one has a little banner on the end of it. Mine do not, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start placing the stickers on the tags along with this because I think it's going to just make my life easier. So I'm all about making my life a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and start with our assembly here. And we'll just go ahead and I'm gonna center them. So this one is one of my longer tags. Let's figure out here how we're gonna do this. Maybe if I stick a little bit of repositionable in the middle. This is sometimes the one thing that I don't get a chance to figure out when I'm doing all of my designing. I know I want it to be at an angle. So there we go. Okay, did y'all catch that? If not, you know what? We have a whole bunch more to do. So I will make sure I'm on camera better coming up. I'm going to go ahead and place this one as well. Right next to the stripes, I'm going to leave just a little bit of the white showing. And it looks like there is a spot where you can punch it out. If I can pick it up and show you, I will. There's a little spot in the sticker here where you can actually pop out this and actually make it have the little circle like that one does, but we're not going to do that. This one is one of those shorter ones. The what did I cut these at? 2 inches by 2 3/4. Yeah. So this one is a shorter one, so it's getting a smaller cookie on it as well. Okay, that seemed to work. So I'm adding just a little bit of repositionable tape. It would help if I was on the camera to show you. About a 1/2 inch worth. We're going to feed this through here at an angle. Let's see here. So I'm at an angle, and there we go. And we're just folding it to create that little tag effect with our, you can see where I have my little practice one down here, but I didn't actually put any tape on it, so I didn't get plotted out with that part because, you know, when you go on to live stream, you have to be prepared. When I do the videos, I have a little bit less of an idea of what I'm doing than when I do for the live streams, but with the live streams, I definitely plot it out a little bit more because you just don't know exactly how it's going to work out unless you try it. And video, you can edit out. Live stream, not so much. So there's our last cookie. So all these cookies came from the sticker sheets that were with this collection. And you can see, like, I didn't even line them up exactly perfectly throughout. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 of the wider tags and 2 of the more skinnier tags because in the sketch, oh my goodness, I need to sneeze. In the sketch, either I do or I don't. I don't know. Anyways, it had 1 3/4 inch by 3 inch, 2.5 and 2 inch pieces, and they did 6 of them. And so it's very symmetrical. And mine is going to be semi-symmetrical, but it's going to make sense once we have the other side of the page over here as well. Let's see here. I think I wanted to make sure I have at least 1/4 inch at the top and the bottom. Let me just plot this out real quick. Roughly 1/4 inch, and then we're going to have some space in between our other 3 here going on the page. Not bad. I don't think I'm going to do it exact, but at least this gives me a good starting point and general idea. And we're just going to go ahead and stick these down onto the page. So this one here, the one that came in our embellishment pack, is actually 4 inches. So that's partially how I wound up a little bit bigger throughout with my other ones as well. But also when you use the tag punch, you wind up losing a little bit at the top of your paper. I mean, this bump out goes a little bit further, and obviously our little ribbon we created with our cardstock is going to go out a little bit further. But I just kind of didn't want to infringe too much into the photos. We're going to be a little bit infringing on the photos. But we are going to get 6 onto the page. I did have to go a little bit smaller than usual as well. But I think it still works. You're going to like it. It's cute. And the other thing I forgot to tell you all is I punched the tags from beige cardstock. Just thought we didn't need too many other colors showing up. So beige and hot fudge with our cookies. You can put the cookies on foam squares if you want. And here are my mats. I did have this in my thing I show you of the sketch, but it's the one with the grid on the back of it, and I need my light blocker, but there you go. Further away you can see it. So this one has the grid on the black. It's the red paper, and I just cut 6 4x6 mats from the one sheet of paper. I didn't necessarily want to cut into a second sheet of paper for this one. And you can see where we're going to go here. These are going to go slightly underneath. That's partially why I didn't want to put any tape on my little ribbons as well. There we go. So there's that. Oh wait, I also have one more embellishment I need to get in on this page. So this might actually need to go a little bit further down. Let's see what 1/4 of an inch roughly looks like here. I have, if I can get it out of my little tray here, it's cookie time. This one actually is going to go up on foam squares because otherwise I don't think it's going to look spaced out nicely. Okay, so that's going to get foam squares. Let's get these mats down. We're going to go 1/4 inch on both sides from the corner here. And there we go. Make sure I'm still somewhat straight for you all. And this one is, it's going to be 1/4 of an inch from the top of the page, but we do want it to be a little bit further over. Actually, it can be about a half. No, let's do the 1/4 because we do need to get our cookie time in. And this is going to be kind of, it's about that inch over from the edge here. And it's okay that we're a little bit further over from the other mat here. It keeps it interesting for our eyes if things aren't completely symmetrical. You know, like I like symmetry a lot. I don't have any issues with it. But this is just what spoke to me for this layout, so that's where we're going with it. Okay, so there's that. Let's get some foam squares, or let's use foam tape. Oops, as I'm knocking over a bunch of Border Maker cartridges. I still have foam shorts for. Let's see how many things I can drop here. Okay, this one's going right through the center, which is perfect because then when we go to place our photos on, it won't interfere at all, and we don't have anything that's sticky there. And this one's going kind of, where did this talk about symmetry before? This one is going to kind of center over this other mat here. My fingers are in the way a little bit, but I feel like that's not too bad. There we go. All right. I think I'm ready for a cookie, and I haven't even gotten through the first layout yet. Here's the left side of our layout up close. Hopefully I am doing all right and y'all can see where I am going with this. I'm running out of space on where to put things too. Okay, so for this right side of the page, we're doing very similar. And I don't think I'm going to need the scissors for the foam tape again. Okay. Back to our cookies and our tags. So with this side of the page, we are going to continue adding cookies to our tags, and then we are going to go ahead and add our little ribbons again. So I do have 8 of these little 1/4 inch by, what did I say? 2 1/4. It's a good thing I write these things down because if I had to remember all of this, it would never work out for me. All right, there's that one. And always helpful to have cheat sheets, right? A little bit for some of these things. And then plus sometimes I do things and then I'm like, what did I do again? Because I'm always trying different things or different cuts, trying out new techniques. There's always fun things to try on our scrapbook pages. And I think this one is a first. I don't know if I've ever done the little 1/4 inch ribbon through the tags here. I probably should have done some of these before I came on camera, but that's okay, you know. Y'all can let me know if you're ready for Christmas, if you're baking cookies like I am, or if you're still trying to shop like I am. I'm not ready. So not ready for Christmas yet this year. And I need to be. That's okay though. It's there's still a few days, right? I mean, we've missed the shipping deadline for Creative Memories for Christmas, but it can always be an after Christmas surprise, maybe. All right, Sweet Memories is going to get placed onto this one. And we're going to use our repositionable tape for this because it's a little bit bumpy. And we are going to place it at an angle following the line of the ribbon a little bit. So, okay, flip these over. We're going to, at least now that I know the spacing from the other side, I should be good with the spacing on this side. If you need to pull your 0 center ruler back out, please, by all means go for it. It's, you have to do what you're comfortable with for your layouts. Okay, so this one is going 1/4 inch from the top here, and this one's going 1/4 inch from the bottom, and I hope I didn't mix up my other ones because I had certain spacing based on which cookies I have on the other side of the page, but fear not, it's scrapbooking. It's not life or death, and it usually works out well enough. I'm not going to press down on that. Let's see, was the thumbprint up? Yes, okay. So let's figure about a 1/2 inch-ish in between. It's kind of between a 1/2 and 3/8. It looks like what the spacing is for these. This one needs to go up a hair. It's about 3/8. I don't normally do things quite, not on the quarters, I guess, if you will, but that's just the way it looks like it's spacing out on this side here. Okay, whoops, this one's coming up a little bit, so I'm gonna add just a little extra touch of repositionable tape there. You can rub off anything that goes on the top with your finger, which is the benefit of using the repositionable tape. And now we are going to get 3 more of those of these, ours 4x6 mats. Okay, so 2 more in the bottom, 1 more on the top. Did I stick this down? I don't think I did. No. Okay, I'll look that up when I go to put that one on. Again, this one's we're gonna start with the 1/4 inch from the edges on this, and then that top one is actually gonna go more to the left this time because we need a place to journal on this page. And I found some other cookies in our embellishment pack that look like they would be perfect for journaling. So let's give that a go. Especially because of our base paper is a little bit more patterned this time. It definitely has more going on. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, right away it started to stick before I even got it placed. All I did was lift up that ribbon. Goodness gracious. There we go. Let's stick this one in. Okay. So there's that, and this one I think is going to go about that half inch. It's going to be, well, we did what, a 1/4 inch from the top on the other side? Maybe that's what we need to do again. I'm going to try the 1/4 inch from both edges on this one. And then double check my notes. Small star up here, coming in kind of at an angle again. And then the larger star should fit right in here. And it does. Yay. Okay. It's always so nice when these things work out the way I think they will. I don't even know if I need that much tape on there, but that is what it got. This one's going to come down from up here. Maybe we'll work with some of the cookies on the paper as well a little bit so you can see that gingerbread, people. And there we go. Ready for journaling. So I'm going to kind of keep this one maybe a little bit more this way. So that way when you go to write on it, it actually will be a little bit easier to put in lines of writing. So you can put your date, your place, things like that on the top, the little smaller details of your pages. And then put your story, a quick little short story joke on the bottom cookie there. So here is our right side of our page. Let me know what y'all think. And let me know if you have any questions, because we are going to move right along once I show you what this one looks like. Side by side, what do you think? Something a little different, even for me, turning the sketch. I don't turn that many of them, do I? But it's still kind of stuck with working with the mats the same way it kind of feels like you should on the sketch here. And then they did have a little extra something down here, and this is where they had where you should journal, but I didn't want to try to shove something in down here. It kind of worked out nicely to add our cookies up there. All right, cookie exchange is done. Sketch number 1 is done. And I've made some sweet memories this year with my daughter. We learned how to do the piping and the flooding on the sugar cookies, and it's been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed it. We've even done that with some of our gingerbread cookies as well. All right, sketch number 2. This one is Christmas on the Coast, and I've kept this one at a single page layout. Let me get my notes up here. Oh, I need to pull out my 13 by 13 mat as well before I start pulling everything out. Hang on, because we're doing some welding for this one. Okay. One thing at a time. All right, moving this back out. Okay. Since we didn't have any questions, I am moving right along. This on here, because when you do your welding, it's nice to have an idea of where your 12 by 12 page actually needs to be hitting. So that's what I'm going to do. Here is my close-up of the sketch. This one is actually going to be the direction that it's going. I think we have another one that, I switched up. I don't know, just seeing things differently this month. Okay, for this one, I am using embellishments. We might be adding a couple of stickers. I haven't fully hashed that one out yet in my mind because it was a little harder to visualize, I guess, with the needing to weld and whatnot. It's okay. But we have some strips from 2 different papers, and I will hold these up closer for you all. I used 3 different of the designer papers from this collection or bundle, I guess. It's not really a collection because it came in the Black Friday bundle, right? But this was from our Black Friday bundle, just like the cookie exchange was also a Black Friday bundle. And so we're using the Ho 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 paper with the stars on it. That's going to be on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and flip it so I can get my welding ready. And it has the red sea stars on the back. And then we have the sand paper that's going to be on this left side, but we're going to flip that as well. And this one has the sandcastle and the stars on the opposite side of it. I feel like I'm crooked a little bit here. How did that happen? Well, that's why we're going to try to get this back together. Oh, that's why, because that one's out. And this is why we're working on the 13 by 13 mat. It shows us exactly where to make a 12 by 12 paper. I grabbed, this was actually a cardstock scrap. I usually use the index sheets for these, but you know what? I had it. So I went ahead and cut a 2-inch piece so that way I can get my papers together nicely. If I can talk today, goodness. And then just go straight up to the top. I felt that one shift a little bit as I was placing it down. So I'm going to go ahead and push this in just a hair. I'm going to secure it more at the bottom, and then I'm going to flip it just to make sure this front side looks good as well. And it does. This was the one that shifted. Push you in just a hair. Okay. And it looks like I've got a little bit of overlap with my cardstock here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off just a hair as well, because we don't need this little bit of white. Oop, there you go. Showing at the top there. So let me go ahead and cut that out using my microchip scissors, which are pack in stock. If you need a stocking stuffer for Christmas, these are awesome. Definitely, I highly recommend getting a pair. You can cut, you saw me cut the foam tape a minute ago, and they don't goop up at all because they have a nice coating on them. So that is that. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on the 13 by 13 mat since I have it out. So you saw I already have the sandcastle paper. That's what we're using. That has the sand on the other side. That's going to be at the top of my pattern that we're going to create. And then I also pulled out this other one with the stars. This is my third sheet of paper with the red stripes on the back. I have 3 of each, and I cut these at 4 inches by 1 3/4. And I know the sketch said 1 3/4 inch squares, but I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do 1 strip from each of these papers, and then that way it helps conserve a little bit of paper, since these were the bundles. You can't get any more of it, so you might as well try to be a little bit more, I don't know, frugal with it. I tried to be frugal with my paper. I don't know, I feel like I'm adding a lot of tape runner to this too, which I try to be frugal with my tape runners too, because you don't need a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and place a little bit of tape on the back side of each of these, and we are going to get these placed on in our pattern. And if I remember correctly, our castles are on the back of the sand, and our stars are on the back of here. And you know what? I wonder if I need my ruler for this one. Sometimes, I'm pretty good, but I don't know if I'm that good. I can usually get a pretty good feel for it. The hardest one is going to be this top one, but we're going to follow our line through the center of our page. Let me start this at 1/4 inch. I hope this is going to work out for me. There's a 1/4 inch here. Keeping those straight, and then this is not next. This one's next up here. So what do we think we need in between? Is anybody super mathy and wants to help me out here? I think we need at least 1/4. Oops. And this is 2 inches, so okay. Would help if it would actually quit flopping around on me here. There's no 3/4 at the top. Let's try it. We're gonna put a 1/4 inch in between each one of these and hope that it works out for me. Wrong one. Hopefully I'm doing these. The sandcastle paper is directional, so be mindful of that. I just realized, I was like, oh no, it worked out. Okay, no, this is not 1/4 inch. We need That's about an eighth. We need to make that one a little bit closer at the top there. Okay, a little bit less than a quarter of an inch. So let me grab my multi-purpose tool and we are going to move this one up. It's a good thing I didn't push down all the way on it. And so what is less than a quarter of an inch? I know an eighth of an inch, but I don't think it's not quite an eighth of an inch at the top and the bottom. It's in between. So what is that? It's like three. What am I? I think I'm doing a lot of 3/8 today. Looks like it's 3/8. It's between the eighth and the quarter. And you know what? It's okay if it's not perfect because mine are not going to be perfect. But I'm going to adjust that just a little bit so visually it's close. And yep. All right. Here we go. Pattern is done. Next, we need to add a 1/2 inch by 12 inch strips. And I chose to go with the blue cardstock. It highlights our buckets in our sandcastle paper and our blue sea stars here. Oh, okay. Apparently I didn't stick that one down well enough. All right. Here we go. Now I'm going to do this. Make sure everything is stuck. All right. It's where I want it to be. Let's hope. And let's get our 1/2 inch by 12 inch blue cardstock. This is also what our mats are going to be as well. I did cut 2 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mats just so we can use our larger photos. And I also did cut one 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 because you will need a smaller photo on this page. And I thought, well, let's try to get a larger one ish if we're going to do a square. So I'm running this right through the center on the top. So it's going to cover that line where we welded. And I did keep everything even here as well. That's something else that in the sketch. Oh, they did keep it even. Okay, never mind. That's 1 3/4 inch squares. There you go. I'm thinking about sketch number 1. And we're on sketch number 2. Water, and here we go. We're going to put our mats down before our embellishments. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. So here is my larger mats. So this one's going up here centered. And this one is going to come across through both of these. I need to make sure I'm going to line it up with the bottom of this star paper here. And then this, I need to make sure I have space for my coastal Christmas up here. That looks pretty good. All right. And then we're going to put some trees. And we're going to put some ginger people. And you can kind of see where we're going a little bit. There we go. Yeah, everything's going to fit. And then our snowman. So these were all in the embellishment pack, which we also have a sticker pack. And I actually do want to look at the possibility of a couple stickers as well because, why not? We've got them. We have a really cute layout, and I thought it needed just a little bit of something else besides these 4 embellishments when I was putting it together. But this one actually was the last one that I did this morning. And because I pooped out honestly last night, but then again, we were also decorating cookies from 7 o'clock until about almost 10 o'clock last night. So, like I said, creating memories. The tree, I think, is going to be. This one's definitely going to be flat. So let's go ahead and stick down our ginger people. Going on down here. Kind of going underneath your mat just a little bit. You could pop it up on the foam squares if you want, but I just don't want to on this one. I feel like this needs to be popped up. I don't know if my coastal Christmas needs to be popped up. That doesn't need to be popped up this can go up a little bit higher. This is here. I don't know why I want the trees to be popped up versus the saying. It just doesn't, it looks like it needs, the trees need to be popped up. So if we're going to pop up the trees, we probably need to pop up the Coastal Christmas as well. Okay. Move my tray out of the way a minute. Let me grab my foam tape again and my scissors. We're going to cut a few pieces off of this because this is a really big embellishment, you know. And it's one of those things where I struggle a lot of times of where to use these really big embellishments, but this one, it just kind of worked out, spoke to me a bit. Let's go ahead and grab a strip for this. And I need a couple smaller pieces for our edges here. So that one's smaller even for this other side. Just we don't want any the trees flopping at all. Put that back over, put these away, grab the backs, and that's also one of the nice things about using foam tape is you have a longer strip to just pull off instead of sometimes using a bunch of the little ones. You wind up with a whole bunch of little teeny things that you have to pull off. Okay, Coastal Christmas. I actually really enjoy this collection. Not the collection, a bundle. It just reminds me of home. And actually, our year in Texas, which looks like we might be heading back to, but I took a picture one year of somebody's palm tree with the lights around it. So I actually have the perfect photo that can go on this page with the palm trees with the lights. Just so fun. I don't know. I mean, that's my husband definitely had to get used to some of the sunshine and 80 degrees at Christmas time. I feel like that can go there. And that actually might be our third thing that gets popped up. And then I'm going to add a couple of these sea stars. We're going to get the blue one because we do have so much blue on the page, and I did not mean to drop that right there. Let me see here. Actually, that one's going to go down here. Kind of bringing our attention to our stars. Let me find my sheet of foam squares because that's what this one is going to need. The smaller ones that I was talking about before that you have to pull so many, but it's okay. We're going to work with it. And you have the right embellishment. You need to work it out here. This is another small one at the top here. And grabbing this is the bell that has the bow. It just really works up here. Because again, you're bringing them back in your blues. And I just feel like it works. With our snowman star here, we're going to add, I know I want to use the green star and probably one of the red stars too. So these are the starfish from the sticker pack. And this one is going to come over here. Or do we want to put it down? Nope, it's going to go up here. I don't know why I'm embellishing heavy on the top here, but that's just the way it's working out. And then we're going to grab this darker red. We're going to leave that brighter red because that one is, even though we have the Santa hat and the bow, it just is throwing off a little bit for me. So we're going to add this one over here. And so we have our sea stars. We have our embellishments, the pop up and not pop up, but remember you're going to have your photos that are going to draw the eye here. And I think that is it. Okay. Let me hold this up to the camera for you all to see this one now. Sketch number 2 is done. If you all have any questions or comments, now's a great time to put them in while I'm shifting over. And let me know what you think about that one. Kind of different. It was I don't know if the sketch felt that different or not, but here's our sketch again. And you can see I definitely did do the same kind of style of mats, but just a slightly different. And I could show you the photo sizes, but this one is kind of self-explanatory. My next two, I have already pulled the photo mats so that way I can talk to you all about pictures. And I thought the first one was a little self-explanatory as well. So hopefully all are following along well enough. It seems like you are. Quiet group this morning, but that's okay. I think, oops, here we go. There's nothing wrong with that. Man must be doing not too far out there things today, which is not always a bad thing either. Sometimes it's nice to get back to some of the basics. All right, this one, which side am I looking at? That's the left side. Okay. For this one, I need to pull this other thing out because I want to show you all what I did wrong, so that way you don't make the same mistake if you make this sketch as well. You can see I've already started pulling because we're going a little bit matless on this one. And I'm going to just put these up here. Whoops. So Christmas charm is what we're using for this one, and my mats are here. My other is here. This one, it's simple, but it's impressive. We are turning the layout because maybe you can already see where I was going with it. I just, as soon as I saw it, I saw a Christmas tree. By shifting our layout this way, and it just kind of worked with this Christmas charm collection. So the thing I want to show you what I did when I cut my 12 by 4 inch squares, I cut it from this star paper, and it's the one that has the Christmas plaid on the back. And you know, you're cutting and you're like, oh, okay, I've cut two 4 by 12s. They're the same thing. Let's stack them up and cut them corner to corner so that way you don't have to measure it twice. Well, if you stack them like I did, you cannot make the shape that it shows in the picture because you get this. You see we have more of a diagonal shape, which is appealing, but it doesn't really speak to the sketch. So we will have another layout at some point, possibly with Christmas charm, with a diagonal maybe, with my extra piece that I cut from stacking. So when you're cutting, what you need to do is you cut one, add a diagonal this direction, and then you cut the other one at the diagonal this direction. So make sure when you're lining it up in your 12-inch trimmer, because you're going to be putting your points into the trimmer, that you're mindful this way first for one sheet, this way next for the second sheet. Okay? Hopefully that helps everybody not to make the same mistake that Catherine did. And now I'm going to go ahead and flip these, and we're going to start sticking them down. I am using, I don't know if I said it already, so I'm going to say it again, dark green cardstock on both sides for the base. Just also seemed to work. I'm going to add just a little bit of reposition wall at the bottom to make sure my points don't go anywhere. And you essentially just line up your square that you cut at the edge of your paper, line things up nicely on your cardstock. And I might have to turn this. Okay, no, there. I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of green. Yep, I'm off up here. Okay, so let's line up our edges here. And here we go. And then we're going to line up our other edge over here and get this one working for us here. There we go. So make your life easier. Put your paper with the corner closer to you, and then you create what looks like a Christmas tree shape, or at least that's what I thought it looked like. So we're going to add poinsettias to our corners. Again, we're going to use our foam squares and pop these up. So let me just go ahead and do that even before I get my mat down in the center. And Here we go. This one's coming out from over here. I have my Season's Greetings mat, which, yeah, you can use that for a photo as well if you wish. I am opting to add the wreath to mine. It just, again, I don't know. Spoke to me a little bit with this one. I just thought it needed a little bit of something. So this one we're centering essentially through these 2 points up here. It's about 1/8 of an inch leeway. Even though this is a 4x6 mat, you still have, because we cut on the diagonal, just a little bit of space up here, even though these were 4x12 square rectangles to begin with. And then we're going to go ahead and add our wreath to our Season's Greetings. And again, this one's also going to pop up as well. I'm going to have to get out another sheet of foam squares coming up. This one is a foam square heavy month, apparently. Some months are like that, and I don't know. Sometimes I haven't used this many, I guess, this year for some reason. I guess you just go through phases sometimes with things, and I've been back and forth. Some months we use more foam squares, and some months not so much. All right, let's hang our wreath up here at the top of our Season's Greetings. And it's okay if it's not quite 100% lined up there. All right, and then for this one, you can see I've already pulled out 2 4x6 photo mats just to show you you don't need anything besides this green cardstock to work on. Just go ahead and add your photos directly to your page. It will overlap the stars just a little bit, but that's all you really need. You can, I should have gotten one of those 3x4s. You can add a 3x4 here as well if you want. And if you really want to get crazy, you can go ahead and add photos along this way too. But I think you kind of would lose something with the design of the actual page if you do add photos to the top. But this is the left side of our page here. I'm going to just hold those on. I'm not going to actually stick them on, but it gives you that idea. And let's get the right side put together as well. Oops. Yeah, this side has a couple more options here. All right, but again, we've got the 4x6 mats. We've got our poinsettia here. And we have the 4x12 that we cut on the diagonal. And okay. Sticking on the, well, why am I sticking down my poinsettia before I get my thing down? Somebody should have commented, hey, Catherine, you're doing it out of order. At least I realized, I guess I got distracted by the brown truck delivering something. I don't know if they're delivering it to us or our neighbor, but we heard a truck outside my window and had to peek a little. It's always fun at Christmas to get some extra little deliveries. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and place this onto our page. And I need to turn it again so I can see what I'm doing better to line up this corner here. And then essentially just get your other point lined up afterwards. There we go. Go ahead and turn it again. And here we go. And if you want, you can do this the way that the sketch shows as well. In fact, I can turn my pages and show you, but like I said, I just really, I don't know why it just spoke. Christmas tree is what spoke to me. Now I can place on that sticker, and I do have one other 4x6 mat here that's going to go at the top of this one, and it is going to go this direction. So it is going to cover up a little bit of our elements, I guess, if you will, but I mean, I could have done, you could do this one this way as well, but I just didn't. It just, like I said, it's just what worked out for me, put it that way. In my mind, this is how I saw this layout because it does also give us a place for journaling as well. And I do want to center this one, so I am going to grab out my ruler because sometimes it is helpful to know exactly where the 0 is on this thing and place things accordingly. For those with normal rulers, that's the 6-inch mark. Okay, so photos here, again, we're going to go with the 4x6 at the bottom here. And you will overlap the edges just a little bit. Now, you can leave this like this. You do remember you have the wreath on the other side. So you can easily put a 3.5 by 3.5 photo up here, which I think is maybe a little bit more, or you can go with the 3x4. This is what, I know the 4x3 doesn't really cover that, but I liked the idea of the 3.5 photo on the side. So I'm going to leave this here when I bring in the other page. I mean, I liked the green at the top and the bottom is what I was thinking on that one. Let me move this stuff out of the way because we got another 2-page layout going on here. And then I will turn it and show it to you the other way as well. But here we go. So this is my kind of Christmas tree interpretation of using Christmas charm of the sketch. Here we go. What do y'all think of this one? Kind of Christmassy, right? And this is a little off because of the not sticking it down, but the sketch itself is this direction, and you can see they also did have something here. And I thought about using maybe the poinsettia edge border maker cartridge or something else, but I just didn't. And yeah, you can do this. Which way is it on? The actual sketch is this way. And still have your photos, you know, going outward. But you can also, hang on, I'm going to flip these because you can also see a little bit more Christmas tree, maybe this way. Just varies on how you want to do it. You could easily move this wreath up here and cut it in half and just put your poinsettias maybe at the top of the other ones, or find a different star in the sticker pack and cut it in half and put it on those as well. But this time I liked kind of going the other way and having the idea of possibly of a green tree. And it almost looks a little bit like the curtain, like what I did with my sketch with me for the Christmas charm. Kind of just showing a little bit of a different view. So how's about that? Options. Y'all know I like options. I hope you all enjoyed seeing a lot of options with this one as well. Okay, any questions? Well, thank you all for sticking with me through all of these sketches. I kind of like doing all 4 at one. It's a little bit of a longer session here, but it's nice getting them all done and having it all under one video, I guess, if you will. It's been working out nicely for me. I think I will probably keep this in the new year as well. So here we go. Oh, I forgot to write down the collection, but Flurry of Fun is what's left from what we voted on, right? So that's what we're doing. Oh, I wrote it on my other sheet, but not on this one. But we're going with Flurry of Fun for this one. And there you go. There is my mat and other here. I do have the sticker page out again because I am going to be pulling. These clouds and the wind and these little starry things spoke to me a bit, but I'm not sure. Oops, if you can see them here, clouds, wind, and starry things. I don't know. I think they're supposed to be, but that's a star. This one, the little bursty looking one. Well, I'll show it closer later. But anyways, this one is kind of also a little bit different. You can see I've already started putting some on my mats. Which side is this? Is the right side. So let me just move this over for now. This is the left side, and you can see I've got a whole bunch of photo mat things to show you all a bunch of options and to show what kind of was originally on the sketch as well. But bottom, top, and oh, I didn't draw in my, oh boy, let's hope I remember where everything goes. That's okay. Usually I draw it in, but it's all right. Let's see. We have a border sticker we're going to be using, and we also have some mat. So I am actually pairing a 4.5 by 6.5 inch mat with a 4-inch mat on, or 4 by 6 mat on both sides of the paper, because like it has the same pattern and print as what's on our base paper. Oops, here's the back side. They both have stripes. One has the winter bucket list, and we're also going to be using our Starry Night shimmer. So this is one you can add to your coordinating cardstock for this collection. You know, I do that from time to time. I let y'all know if there's another cardstock that goes well. Starry Night is it for this one. And then on both sides, we are using the Snowstorm with the medium, almost like a country blue background on it. It has the gray snowy scene on the back, but we are going with the blue side. I think this is probably the tonal side, but that's okay. It's what we're doing. And let's get some tape runner going. And this one I have a specific note. I want this 1.5 inches from the top of the page. If my ruler was not backwards. And what did I cut this Starry Night shimmer piece of paper, you might be wondering, because I didn't tell you, did I? Let me place it down and then I'll tell you, because I can look that up. This is 6 inches by 10 inches. So I cut my 2 inches off, turned my paper, and then cut it in half at the 6 inches. I need my ruler still because the 4.5 by 6.5 mat is going to be 1 inch from the bottom of the page. So every once in a while, I do have specific placements for things that I want on the page. I have used my ruler a couple of times this time, haven't I? Because this one is, if you can see, it overlaps our shimmer paper just a little bit as well. And then this one is going to essentially be offset by those 1/4 inches, top and bottom. Yes, I can get my ruler out again, but am I going to? Probably not. I'm usually pretty good at getting the 1/4 inches correct. Lining this up with the left side of the page as well. Okay. So there's that, and then we're going to run our border sticker through the middle here. And this is something also that was on the sketch, which I don't know where I put my sketch right now, so I can't even show you all. But that's okay. We've got this. It almost looks like a scarf, doesn't it? It looks like an unraveled scarf all the way through here. And I'm going to just layer it just ever so slightly over our 4.5 by 6.5 mat. It's bumping down towards that 4 by 6 mat, and there we go. So let me show you the placement on that. You can see where it gets really close to that 4 by 6 and a little bit over our 4.5 by 6.5. So now I'm going to wait to add my other stickers, but I do want to show you all photo placement as well. These two are in the top. These are 4 by 6s, if I can actually pick them up. So here are 2 4 by 6 that can fit in the top here nicely. We're going to give about 1/8 of an inch from the top and maybe about 1/2 inch in between the two photos when we go to put them on our page. And then a 6 by 4 going on to our 4.5 by 6.5 mat. It's going to wind up lining up exactly with your Let It Snow mat. Now, this is where, okay, hang on, this is where I needed the other one. Where did that go? Somewhere. I'll find it. Here it is. It's under my stickers. Okay. Oof. So this is where I definitely deviated a little bit more from the sketch. I'm going to actually probably go ahead and put some of those other stickers down. But they had, I don't know, there was a lot going on with this one. And so I wanted to show you could definitely get 3 larger photos on here. But you can also, you can do these 2x2 photos that they have across the bottom here. Or you can also do some 3x3 photos. And I'm going to probably wind up putting this one back just for when I show it closer to the camera for you. But I did want to show you can fit 2 3x3 photos side by side here across this mat and get that framed out nicely on the edge here. You can also shift these over on top of the Let It Snow and have that on this left side, and then do some of those 2x2 photos where you're going to get some of the white showing as well if you decide to do that. But you can still space those in and do the 2x2s all the way across as well. But it's your choice. And I don't really cut my photos this small, but sometimes, I've seen where people have like floral photos and different things where they just want to highlight a little piece of a photo or to cut like sections out from a larger photo, and they do wind up with this 2x2 size. So, it's your pictures. You place them on the page how you want, but you can still work with this base and do it that way as well. I mean, this one just shows a 12 inch by 3 inch going across the bottom. And now I opted to use the 2 mats going across the bottom. And then we'll also have 2 going across the top on the other side as well. But I just thought we needed some cloud and we need some wind and we need some of this other happening on the page. And so I'm going to put the wind kind of coming out at an angle from our cloud. And I think I'm going to go ahead and place it down on the page up here, and then we'll see coming up a little bit more. And I do want a couple of these little other flakes coming through as well. There's some that are larger and some that are smaller, so be mindful where you're placing. This was my smaller one, this one's a larger one, but for now this is where I'm going to go with this page. I might wind up adding a little bit more when we get both pages together, but this is it. Oops. Okay, so again, harder to hold it with the mats in place. I need to slow it down so the camera can focus as well. But this is going up here. And there you go. So the left side of the page is done. Now let's get this right side put together, and then we can all move along here. There we go. Okay, so we're doing something similar on the right side. I have some other options here as well. And here we go. Same border sticker going down. Let me move these. Well, you all have the idea with the small ones by now, hopefully. I'm going to set those aside. And then again, 2 more mats. We are going to use this one, and that's where I have some different size photos to show you possibilities with this. This one has the really light mountain scene journal box on the back side of it. This one also has that larger snowy scene with the red plaid on the back. It blends in with the paper, but I don't usually layer. It's like it's the same pattern basically, but it's different. And so it looks really cool on this page. Another 6x10 of the Starry Night Shimmer as well on the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and get this placed down here. Grab my ruler again because we are going to place this 1.5 inches from the bottom of the page. I don't remember if this was something off the sketch also or not, but this is what we're doing. This is what I'm doing. 5 and there we go. Line up and line up here. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like that one. Oh, that looks about right. Okay. Oof. Let me get some tape runner going on the backs of these, and then we'll get these going across our page. And we are going to put the larger one towards where it's going to be the middle of our page. And then an inch down from the top as well. With this one, there we go. With my finger so I can actually see what I'm doing here. There we go. And then this one again is going to go on top at that 1/4 of an inch from the top and bottom, but lining up with the right edge of our page this time. There we go. Okay. So this is where we're at for now. Oh, border sticker. That's what else we need. Mike, something's missing. Border sticker needs to go down before I show you photo placement. All right. Here we go. Again, kind of overlapping our 4.5 by 6.5 a little bit. It is going to, the way it bumps, maybe I should flip this. Nope, it's still going to bump that. Okay, it's going to bump our 4 by 6 a little bit more this time. Whereas the other one, it was coming down. It was in the downward arcing part, but that's okay. So you wind up seeing a little bit more in between here. This time, this is what I'm talking about. So we might find a strategic sticker for that as well. We're going to get our 4 by 6 and 6 by 4s on here. This is the 6 by 4 going on to the 4.25 by 6.25. Mat, it's okay if it goes over your border sticker a little bit. The other two 4 by 6s can come down here with that extra little space in between. So now, how to get one other photo with this mat. I have a 5 by 5 by 3.5 photo to show here. So you can place this one up here where it gets framed out by the snow falling, and you can still see some of the trees underneath. Let me hold that up for you. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard when they're not stuck, but there you go. At least you can see where that one's going. It's a little harder with the white, I understand. I also have the 3 by 4 here that you can easily put next to your 6 by 4 here. So you can come in this way and just have it next to it and then still have some of your trees showing off to the side. Or you can use the 3.5 by 3.5 and just kind of frame it with the trees as well. So there are some photo options for that. You can, again, get those 3 by 3s and 2 by 2s going, but I wanted to show you something else on this side as well. Let me bring in my other side of the page so I can see which stickers I need down here. I guess I don't need any stickers, but I think it'll look better with a couple of stickers. And for journaling, you can add some write-on stickers, or you can just journal on the Starry Night paper around your photos. I just realized I did that one. So you can't actually read it the proper direction. It's okay. But you can also add a small journal box down here if you want, but I think that's where my other sticker is going to go. I think actually if you add your write-on stickers, they can go up here. And then that way you still see some of the snow going through the page as well. Okay, we're going to grab the smaller cloud and the other wind gust. Put those together. I think this is going to angle up coming out of the cloud because we have the other one angling down, and that's going to come up from here, from this bottom corner. So we have our corners, and we're going to add a couple more of these. The little, I don't know what these are. It's like a kind of like a snowflake, but not really. It's like a little, what do they call those on one of the pages? Like bursts, I think. So is what, I'm pretty sure that's what those were called. And we're going to get a couple more here. We're going to go with the smaller one on the top again, and the larger one coming over, partially over our Starry Night paper again. And then we need just a little bit of one here. There's another smaller one here. Let's put one more over here. And you know what? It doesn't line up exactly, and that's actually fine because that's kind of how the sketch was as well. I wonder if we just put it up here. If that that's going to work for me. Let's see. A lot of times when you design, you think about triangles a bit, but not completely thinking about triangles here. I'm actually going to do 3 stars, I think, though. I don't have the space here, but I almost feel like, no, that's going to be too much. But if you want later, you can add some of these little stars. They're these blue stars, and there's a white star. You have to look really close to find them on your sticker sheet, but you'll have them there. So, okay, that is sketch number 4. Let me go ahead and check the comments here. There we go. What do y'all think? How'd I do this month? That's our last sketch. Anne loved it. Thank you so much, Anne. And I also have Annie popped in. Thank you so much, Annie, for saying hi. And I appreciate you all with your comments. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know which sketch was your favorite from this month's virtual crop. I will have a poll up over on my Facebook where you can like which one you like the most, because YouTube, the sizing with the photos, when I put it up in the polls, kind of changed a bit. Like it wasn't working out with the votes. So it was harder for people to see as well. Let me get myself back on here. So we can wrap it up. I'm still here. Somehow it's a longer time, but it works out well enough. And I hope you all enjoyed seeing all 4 sketches. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me throughout all of our Black Friday bundle sketches and our other ones as well for this month. Wishing you all the merriest of Christmases and a very happy New Year as well. I don't know, may or may not have another video or short coming out before the end of the year. Some of it depends on if I actually finish my cookie baking and Christmas shopping and wrapping as well. So stay tuned for that. You know, my community tab is the best place to keep an eye out for what is coming. Sometimes I just release them. So stay tuned for more. And you know, in the new year, I will have the what is coming in 2025 video as well. Until next time.